today I wanted to talk to you about something that I've kind of touched on in other videos, but I've never made a dedicated video just to this topic. And I think I'm going to call the video, "If You're Fat, Then What Am I?" But it's basically about that kind of mentality of taking what someone feels about their body and projecting it onto yourself. And this is something that I have struggled with and that I'm guilty of doing, and it also happens to me quite a lot. And that is when someone says to you, like, "Oh, I'm so fat, I need to go on a diet," or complains about their body, to instantly project that onto yourself. Because if that person to you looks like, they look great, or if they're smaller than you end up thinking like, if you're fat, then what am I? If you think you're fat, you must think I'm an elephant. And that's something that is really, really easy to kind of get into thinking. And it's something that I know that I've done kind of a bunch of times with friends and that kind of thing, who have been smaller than me or just looked great and I didn't see anything wrong. And then they spoke about it and it kind of made me question myself. But also being on YouTube, that's happened to me a lot, because I'm at my heaviest now. And it sucks. And my heaviest is a size 12, which is by no means big, but it's big for me because I'm normally like a small size 10, an 8 to a 10 kind of thing. And so to me that does feel big. And if I speak about it, most people completely understand, but you will get the odd message, and they don't tend to write this in comments, they tend to kind of write this in inbox messages and emails and things like that, where people will get annoyed and they'll just be like, you're making these videos and you're making people who are genuinely overweight feel bad, and if you think you're fat, then you must think I'm an elephant. If you saw me, I'm massive, you're not that big, you shouldn't have a problem, how dare you have a problem. And that's really, really difficult, because from one point I can understand where they're coming from, because I can understand why it seems to them almost like I'm being self-indulgent. Because for someone who, for example, is like a size 26, that will seem indulgent and ridiculous and annoying. I would find that annoying if I was them too. I completely understand that. But at the same time, everyone's body images are so subjective that it ultimately comes down to what you prefer. And there's so many women who, like I would look at and think like, you're really, really slim, and they think, well, like, no, I like myself half a stone lighter. And that's their choice. It's got nothing to do with me, and they don't, just because they like themselves that way doesn't mean that they want to be that doesn't mean that they think that you're big. And it's kind of, I look at it as, for example, I love people's bodies like Kim Kardashian and I said Kim Kardashian. Cue the hate comments. Or Kelly Brook, for example, and Kate Upton and that kind of thing. I love those bodies. I think they have such gorgeous figures. But then I can look at myself and think like, I'm not as big as, say, Kelly Brook. I don't know. Maybe I am. I don't know. But I'm not as big as her, and I think that, I look like a hippo. But Kelly Brook looks amazing. It's so subjective. How you feel about yourself is so important, because that's ultimately what decides how you want to be and how you want to feel about yourself. And it's oh, I could feel that coming as well. Sorry. It's very difficult to kind of not compare yourself to someone else. And I know that from personal experience, because I do it all the time. And if someone else talks about how big they are and I think they're really small, I do end up thinking like, you don't know half of it. But it's not really fair to do that, because just because they've got a problem doesn't mean that that's got anything to do with you. That's them. This is you. Me feeling big at size 12 has nothing to do with someone else feeling big at size 18. It is what it is, and you are only responsible for how you feel. And as much as I can completely understand that feeling, because as I said, I feel it myself towards others sometimes, we can't expect people to not dare say anything or not talk about their troubles or their weight or anything like that in case it offends somebody who might be bigger, because then, you know, you'd never have that discussion going on. It would never be out there for the public to kind of talk about, and especially like here on YouTube, we'd never have these discussions. And I love having these discussions with you, but I don't want to at the same time offend anyone. But it is something really that I think it's kind of your choice to be offended by something like this, because the person's not saying it to make you feel bad, it's because they feel bad about themselves. So really we should learn to kind of not feel sorry, but kind of feel a little bit bad for that person that they feel like that because we think they look great, and maybe just sort of say, well, I think you look great, rather than thinking, if you're fat then what am I, because it's not really helpful to anyone. So let me know your thoughts on this matter. I think this is probably going to be a little bit of a controversial one because I don't know kind of how everyone feels about it, but it's just something that I have experienced a lot from both ends, so I kind of can cover both opinions. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and if you want more videos like this, and I'll see you next time. Bye!